So I'm here with Mukpuddy, animation studio down in New Zealand, which
Yep.
I guess isn't down in New Zealand to you guys. You guys are just where you are. We're up in.
Oh yeah.
Are we up and over? Is that how do you guys refer to the?
Uh,
You're
those
down.
guys.
Um,
You're, you're where Disneyland is.
yeah, exactly. It's like an hour and a half from here. Uh, so I'm just getting over a cold too. So excuse my voice and everything. So tell me a little bit about Mukpuddy. How did you guys get the name Mukpuddy, and who is Mukpuddy?
I guess it was the three of us met on our animation course here in Auckland, New Zealand, and we kind of knew pretty early on during the course that the three of us weren't gonna be content working on other people's ideas. We all got into it for the same reason. We wanted to work on a show and we wanted to work on, just animate. But then we started realizing we had our own ideas and that we could give it a go as our own little company. So, yeah, and I think it was the third year of our course, we kind of started coming up with names for a potential studio, and we wanted a name that didn't mean anything, but that sounded really cartoony and sounded original. So yeah, we just mixed up a bunch of words until we got Mukpuddy, and we're like, that's it.
That's pretty.
And then from there, we just kind of
Yeah, we moved into Tim's basement after our course finished and naively tried to take on the world.
at that time we'd seen what Spunko were doing with John Kay was doing with online cartoons, and we were like, that's it, that's the future.
Yeah.
That's where everyone's going to turn. And at that time, the internet, this makes us sound so backwards, but the internet, like, people didn't really place much value on the internet, in New Zealand especially. So we would meet with people and say, hey, you want to sponsor a cartoon? Maybe get your brand in there and we'll make some funny little shorts. Just nothing, no interest. So we pursued a few of our own little shorts, but to kind of keep the company going, we just made sure we would, jack of all trades, and we just did graphic design and business cards and posters and children's books, and whatever was going, we would just latch onto, and, we all kept secondary jobs while we did Mukpuddy full time.
Right.
So we just worked like late nights and stuff.
Let's introduce you guys. So Mukpuddy is just the three of you. It's Tim,
Just the
Alex,
three
and
of us.
Ryan.
Yeah, I'm Alex.
Ryan.
Tim.
So do you guys each have a specific task when animation comes in? You said you were all animators in that animation program. Do you each?
Yeah. Over time, we've kind of fallen into roles that kind of suit our strengths. So at the beginning, we did everything. All of us had a hand in design and animation and editing and stuff. And it just over time, it kind of, those who were better at like character design, like Alex especially, his style kind of became what's known, what we see as the Mukpuddy look. And so he became kind of the lead character designer, and then I always enjoyed writing, so I just kind of started writing.
And doing silly voices.
Yeah, and I like doing voices, so
Your Winnie the Pooh is pretty good, actually. I mean, they're all very good, but that's a hard one.
yeah. I was driving along in the car one day, and I was like, man, that's such a hard voice. I don't know how he does it. And I just went, oh, Bob. And I was like, oh, that. I still don't know how
It's that easy.
that easy. Try it at home, kids.
Yeah.
So yeah, now we just kind of, Tim's kind of like, what would you call yourself? Tech genius.
Well, both these guys, as we kind of streamlined our process and we got into actually like making cartoons, the sort of production streamlined, and we did sort of end up doing separate things, but there's a lot of crossover. Like, these guys do all the animation, so I don't. At the start, I used to animate, but now I just spend all my time designing and making backgrounds and
doing
character
layout.
design, layout, and stuff like that. So, and leave that stuff to those guys. And then from there, Tim does the editing and music and sound effects and stuff like that. And then at the start, it's all very collaborative, though.
Yeah, the ideas
so,
are. This is the idea.
Just sit around.
I really like that all your stuff looks really tight and polished, and given the amount of variety that I've seen Terry the bipolar bear, and I've also seen stuff for little kids you guys have done, and it all looks like it goes together, which
Yeah.
I think is great. I mean, that's right in the same vein as like classic animation stuff.
Yeah, cool, man. I guess our motto is just, well, all we do is just make stuff that makes us laugh, and whether it's preschool stuff or stuff that's kind of aged up a little bit. So yeah, we just hope that everyone else laughs at the same stuff generally, which we do get a really positive response to a lot of our stuff. So yeah, seems to work.
You've got this new cartoon coming out, Crumbs. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, Crumbs is a strange one for us because we don't tend to naturally go adult with anything we make. Like, not because we don't want to, just because the stuff we make generally comes out pretty PG or G. I don't know.
Right.
Good wholesome fellas. Yeah, so we came up with this idea mainly because we hadn't seen many good, parody film, sort of shows or cartoons in a long time. And I don't mean like just silly parody, like, straight-faced police squad style parody. So we had this idea, which was like some vigilante characters in a supermarket when the lights go out. It was like, and that was kind of all we had for the idea.
It was just kind of the spark of it.
And the more we started talking about it, we started to realize that a CSI style parody with food in a supermarket was pretty funny if we played it completely straight faced and just made the weirdness of the situations the comedy. And it's evolved since then. Now it's like it's a supermarket, but it's not. We've turned the supermarket into a city, and it's all very surreal and bizarre and very dark compared to anything we've ever made.
We started to rewatch a lot of old Zucker Brothers stuff, Police Squad and Airplane and all that stuff, and just to kind of get a feel for that style of comedy. And again, that was kind of just a starting point, and it's kind of evolved beyond that. But it's cool to see how that stuff hasn't dated. It's still really, really funny.
And then it makes you realize all the new stuff, all the Date Movie and all the new, Scary Movie 5, how they've all absolutely lost what a parody is.
Sure. Now, you guys are down in New Zealand. We already talked about that. I've seen some of the stuff you've done with like the where you do these marathon weekend films where you spend was it 48 hours to do a film?
Yeah.
Is that something you guys do, or is it just?
Yeah. It's quite a big. It's become I guess a little bit of an institution down here. They do these 48-hour competitions all over the world, but the organizer down here is kind of. It seems like it's the strongest one, eh?
It's the biggest one in the world.
It's the biggest one, and most amount of teams enter, and it's become like this sort of annual event. And a lot of the local filmmakers and young kids and anyone interested in just making stuff sort of gets involved. It's quite cool to see sort of the film community come together for this one sort of big weekend. And then
the first time we took part was in 2007, and we had seen that an animated film a couple had been attempted, but had just never been completed. So we were like, we were just in the middle of a series we were making, and the turnaround was just horrible. Like, we were making an episode a week of this series, and we hadn't made a series before. So we were like
3 minutes of animation.
We were like, with the stress of that, surely we can knock out a cool little film in 48 hours. So we did, and it was not to sound too cocky, but it was kind of a breeze. Like, we handed it in with like 3 hours to spare.
No computer crashes.
And we had such a good run that year that we were like, let's not do it again.
Yeah.
So we left it for a few years and did it again the last 2 years, and both those times we haven't slept.
Yeah, it was hell.
The whole weekend, not 1 minute. So
the second to last film we entered, we were up for 60 hours straight. Including sort of Friday, we just had a normal day of work, and then Friday night you go to this sort of sort of place. You get your genre, sort of random elements, line of dialogue and stuff like that every film has to have. It changes every year to, eliminate cheating and make it kind of fun and interesting. And yeah, so from that Friday night to Sunday night, we were up sort of 60 hours-ish.
We were zombie animators.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Yeah, we surprised ourselves that we actually made something cohesive.
Yeah.
And got it in just 5 minutes to spare, I think.
We just liked that after 48 hours, you ended up with a film that you had no idea you would ever made. It just,
yeah, cool. because apart from sort of the drawing, the designing, the animating, I think what we like the most is working together, and that's when we work the best together, is just coming up with ideas around the table, just juggling ideas, bouncing jokes and gags off each other, and just that initial creation process is awesome. Some of the funnest stuff we do. Yeah.
But it comes through in your work too. I mean, all of your cartoons are pretty funny, and they have a very nice look to them. And it seems like you guys really enjoy working together.
Yeah.
I'm sure that helps a lot.
It's been a long time that we've been in the same room together.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, do you guys have a film that you consider your flagship piece? When somebody says, what piece are you most proud of, maybe, or what's your cartoon that you think best shows your skill set as a team?
It's hard to.
You have one?
It's hard to know because we work so fast and the turnaround. We move.
We never look back.
I guess
we never like what we make, so we just move forward.
Nah. In terms of accomplishments and sort of creating something pretty special, the end of last year we got the chance to make a 22-minute Christmas special, which isn't online. We haven't put it online. Just aired on local TV down here on Christmas Eve, and that was.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
We made it, just the three of us, in a couple of months, which wasn't ideal. We kind of ran out of time, so we had to churn it out like a lot of our stuff. But it was a real.
We just always wanted to make something Christmassy.
Yeah,
we're big Christmas fans.
Yeah.
So we pitched this idea, and we were like, "Come on, New Zealand doesn't have its classic Christmas cartoon. America's got, you got How the Grinch Stole Christmas and all these cool American that we grew up on, but we don't have anything, we don't have the New Zealand equivalent of that. So when we pitched it, it fell flat a few years ago, and then we repitched, and all of a sudden it was like a fresh idea, and they're like, yeah. So we got to make it, and it was awesome.
Because everything's kind of TV down here is government funded. You have to apply, and you kind of go into this. Like a lot of things down here with creative people, it's like a competition, You
Creative Idol, we call it.
Creative Idol, and you hope that someone likes your idea,
and then
singing
that, hope they pick you,
and you'd think that the people in those positions would see the talent that rises to the top. Quite often that doesn't happen. There's a lot of crap that gets put on TV down here, like everywhere, but we were really lucky. I think. Yeah. We were lucky and really, really sort of surprised that we got the funding, and it was a really good chance for us to show off our skills, I guess, like to a bigger audience.
Especially when it came to storytelling over such a 22 minutes. It's very different to making.
It was a real challenge.
4 minutes.
We hadn't done that. That's the biggest thing we've made in terms of length and. Amount of sort of how big the cast was and stuff. So
you had some A-list voice talent on that as well. I remember seeing some pictures of this.
Yeah, we had John Rhys Davies, who now lives in New Zealand, and we were trying to think of like the perfect narrator, and he just came to mind, and we asked him, and within a couple of hours of putting it out to him, he said yes, and then we know Rhys Darby from Fly the Conchords. He's not far around the corner, and we. Just over there, and Timura Morrison and stuff. So it was a dream come true for us. We basically made a wish list, and each day we ended up ticking a name off. It was awesome.
Kind of asking for favors. Yeah, we don't have much money. Would you be interested in this? So it was a lot of that. But everyone was really cool, and it's a shame that we don't have anything to show it, like because it can only be played on telly. So
we can just imagine
it.
So. We talked about Crumbs. Do you guys have anything else coming up, or any projects that you want to make that maybe you're looking to pitch, or we had a I don't know if you've probably seen in like Animation Magazine and stuff. There's these like pitch sessions that they do every year.
Yeah.
Magazine, and Nickelodeon had a pitch session not that long ago. Do you guys have like a stable of things that you'd love to get out there? Or
Oh, we've got we've got quite a large collection of ideas that we'd love to visit. At the moment we're pitching a few ideas locally down here one of them's a spin-off from our Christmas special, kind of following the characters from that around adventures around New Zealand. What else are we doing?
Yeah, we've got a couple of sort of adult, I guess, kind of sitcom-y type ideas that we're trying to pitch. But yeah, the last few years we've kind of concentrated on trying to pitch locally and trying to establish sort of better relationships with the networks down here. Because in our early days we were really trying quite hard to, travel to the States and pitch to all the big studios and that, and that was great. And we made a lot of ground there. We had some ideas that almost got picked up, and we're working with sort of Cartoon Network on some stuff and Disney on some stuff. But yeah, like anything, over time those people lose their jobs and things fall over, and we made a pilot for Nickelodeon too a few years back, which was a fun experience.
That's where I met you guys, I think, the first time.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Nickelodeon Studios.
Yes.
And,
it was after that we ended up getting the pilot.
Yeah, that trip sort of got us the pilot, which was really cool.
I remember at the time you had you were showing me your tattoos of your different animation concept art, which I thought was pretty cool. I don't know why you don't have more pictures of that kind of stuff on your site. There's a lot of animators that have, a Mickey Mouse T-shirt or like, cool characters. You get them literally tattooed on your skin.
Just want like a full nude turnaround.
I remember you had, I believe, Monsters Inc. on your neck.
Yeah, I've got Monsters Inc. on my neck and Calvin and Hobbes and stuff. Yeah, kind of all my inspirations are on me. So
that's dedication. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe we'll get some Mukpuddy tattoos somewhere. Some kid somewhere will see this interview, and
we can.
That would be amazing.
We can only dream.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks a lot. And is there anything else you want? Maybe Tim would like to say something.
No, I'm good.
Oh yeah, Tim.
Can't get a word in edgewise.
He's our silent Bob.
Great. All right. Well, thanks a lot, guys.
Cool.
No worries. Yeah.
No worries.
Thanks for your time, man. Yeah, it was cool.